What's up, BookTube? Sandy Golson back here with an end of the year video. And this one is going to be disappointing to some people, but this is my disappointing book of the year. And actually, this year it's going to be my disappointing books of the year, because I ended up tying for my disappointing book of the year. Now, let me preface what I'm going to say before I reveal the books that were my disappointing books of the year. I want to say that neither of the books was badly written. In fact, they were both pretty well written. But the books were disappointing for me because they didn't quite live up to the hype of what others had kind of built up for these two particular books. One was probably one of the most, if not the most anticipated book release of 2020, because a lot of people were waiting on this book. And then the other was a book that I saw on a lot of bookshelves of Booktubers over the course of the year, and I started to look at some reviews of the book, and then the book fit a category of books, dark academia, that I really like. So with that said, I'm going to reveal the first of my disappointing books of the year, and that would be Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And again, I liked it in theory. It sounded really good. Again, it's dark academia. It has to do with a freshman at Yale, and it's, black magic, Ivy League elite, secret societies, all of that kind of stuff. And it sounded really interesting, and the book starts off really fast for me. Although I have to admit, I did hear a few people say that you have to get like 150 or 200 pages into it before it really picks up. That wasn't really my experience. I found that it was kind of the most enjoyable part to me were probably the first 100 pages or so. To me, that was the most interesting part. And then after that, it just kind of lost me. I didn't DNF it, but I started skimming quite a bit, and I did eventually finish it, and I got a feel for what the book was all about. And it was well written. It was good. It was an interesting story. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't quite what I was looking for, but I do appreciate, and I'm glad that I did buy it, and I enjoyed it for the most part. It just wasn't quite what I was expecting. Number 2 on my list, I think, is going to be in line with what a lot of people are thinking. And again, this is a highly anticipated book. It was a book that is part of a series that a lot of people like, and so a lot of people were sort of excited about it, but not excited because of the direction that the story was going, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, part of the Hunger Games series. And this is a bit of a lengthy book, of course, nearly 600 pages, maybe over 600 pages, I can't remember, but it was a long book, yeah, pretty close to that, well over 500 pages. I liked it probably more than some people liked it, but of course a lot of people didn't like it because it takes the path of President Snow, who is obviously the villain of the series, and because of that, a lot of people were kind of instantly turned off about where the series was going in terms of a prequel. There were other people that probably felt there were other characters that they were more interested in seeing having their stories picked up, and that could happen in future installments of the Hunger Games series, assuming that there are going to be future installments of the Hunger Games series. The book is well written. It was interesting, and there were some characters that came out of it that were really interesting that I would look forward to learning more about, but maybe after I learn more about some characters from the original Hunger Games book trilogy and the 4 Hunger Games movies. So we'll see where Suzanne Collins goes if she continues with the series. I can't imagine why she wouldn't. You probably are looking at this video and probably like, duh, she's already going to do it. So maybe she is already planning the next book in the series. But I liked it. It was entertaining. It was good. It just wasn't quite what I was hoping for. But I do not regret buying it. I do not regret reading it. It wasn't my favorite entry in the Hunger Games series by a long shot, but it might not have been my least favorite. It's kind of right there with Mockingjay. I didn't love Mockingjay. I loved Hunger Games. I really liked Catching Fire. Mockingjay and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes they were okay. But I think a lot of people were probably not as excited about this one, but at the same time, it was good. It was a credible, solid entry in the series, just not the best. So I kind of equate it to, although I think this is not quite on that level, but I equate it to people who don't like The Godfather 3. They think it's a bad movie or it's just not very good. And I always say it's a good movie. It just is not as good as the first two Godfather movies. So that's kind of the way I usually look at it with that. And this one probably kind of the same. So The Battle of Songbirds and Snakes, a little bit of a disappointment, but still a good entry, and I am still glad I read it. So there you have it, my 2 disappointing books of the year. They were good and well written, just not quite what I was looking for and didn't quite satisfy me as much as I was hoping for with these 2 highly anticipated reads.